Okay, I guess we're live. So thanks for coming back to my channel. Thanks for watching my videos. Today, I want to talk a little bit regarding relationships and a very interesting topic. So this channel, I do speak about relationships, as you can see with my reality TV reviews, which are all about relationships. And so I came across this brother named Brandon on YouTube. He has two great channels. His first channel that I came up on was Pan-Africanism Strikes Back, where he talks about pro-black and Pan-African topics. And then he has a relationship channel called Ebony Outlier. So I wanted to review and comment on a part of this video that I came across because it seems pretty interesting. The video is called Kevin Samuel's Book of Alpharonomy and Destiny Child, and it's on both of his channels. So go to his channel, like and subscribe, check out his videos. He got a lot of good content. So yeah, we're just going to get started, and let's see, and let's go.
Today, we have a very interesting topic. Stop begging your woman for attention and when to know when it's time to go. Sunday salvation. And it's usually called the Sunday morning salvation, but I was busy. I was out there simping all morning. Somebody pissed me off, and I had to come get them on the Sunday salvation in the evening, right? Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna speak on a situation that happens in many Yes, this is my second channel. Hey, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, because this is like my manosphere channel. You know, I want to start doing all these types of streams on this channel, and then I can save the Pan-Africanism Strikes Back channel for our political stuff, where we do what we gotta do as a people. But this right here, we don't just call out women, we call out men too. Next week I'm gonna do aren't you tired of all the Kevin Samuel wannabes? Because God knows I am. Every skinny bastard with a YouTube channel thinks he's freaking Kevin Samuels. And, you know, you and Kevin Samuels coming from two totally different places in life. And Kevin Samuels has some experience. He's been married. He's actually got, you know, to the point where a woman actually wants to marry him, right? You suffering from premature ejaculation, talking about why won't no woman submit to me? You know what I'm saying? It ain't the same. So today we talking about women. Stop begging your woman for attention, when to know when it's time to go. Okay, so like when you're in a relationship, you know, sometimes a relationship might start off really well, right? A relationship might start off really good. But after a while, all relationships become stagnant. And when the relationship becomes stagnant, you know, either both of you guys are going to brainstorm to get the relationship back going strong, to add excitement to the relationship, or you'll both retreat into your old habits, right?
Okay, I just want to comment on this part. Yeah, relationships, you know, when they start, it's always starts in what people call the honeymoon phase, which is the most romantic time of the relationship. It should be, at least. This is where you get along real good. You know, no problems. You're getting to know each other. You don't really know each other's quirks and craziness yet, because everybody has their representative out there in this relationship. And I think the romantic or the honeymoon phase could last anywhere from 3 months to 2 years, let's say, because, you know, that's about the time when, you know, you can't you can't hide your craziness or your little things that might bother each other. So he is definitely on point with that. All right, let's go.
So I was watching this Kevin Samuels show today. I don't really watch Kevin Samuels.
Oh yeah, and also, relationships become stagnant because we get complacent. After a while, after you've done all the dating, you impressed her and all that stuff. Then you're just like, okay, so now I got her. So now I can just do me. I can just sit on the couch, watch TV every day. So we, as I think as men, we are leading. We're supposed to lead the relationship, and the woman follows. So if we get complacent and stagnant, then eventually they're going to become complacent and stagnant, and then you're just going to have two people just, you don't like the relationship isn't going anywhere. So we got to remember to keep doing the same things that we did in the beginning. Like once you got to notice, like in a relationship, you always have to keep mental notes of what's going on. So when you see a dip, you got to notice these peaks and troughs in the relationship. So takes a dip, you got to bring it back up. So come on.
Much, but today it just popped up in my feed, and I was driving, and I just didn't bother to change it to anything else because I like Kevin Samuels. I think he makes a lot of good points. Now I'm married for 14 years, so I think I got like a little leg up on Kevin Samuels. You feel me?
Big fact there. I think if you're gonna get relationship advice from someone and you're in a long-term relationship, or you are seeking a long-term relationship, or you want to get married, talk to somebody who is in a long-term relationship. Talk to a married couple. Talk to somebody married. Like, we can get all this information and coaching and all this stuff from other people who been married before. They might be divorced. They may have been married a few times and still single. Or somebody's never been married, never been in a long-term relationship, but yet they're going to advise you on how to be in a long-term relationship. So he's in a successful marriage, 14 years. That's pretty successful, and it's still going. So I think he is a credible source of information, even though, he doesn't have 3 letters behind his name. I mean, he still has practical knowledge. So let's go.
He might be rich and well-dressed, but I've maintained what Kevin Samuels wants for longer than he could. So that means that I have some level of wisdom or some level of authority to speak on this, right? It's kind of like you watch Cynthia G. How Cynthia G gonna tell you how to do something she can't even do, right? A damn dude who is a painter can't tell you how to be a welder. He can't even weld, so how he gonna teach you how to weld, right? So everything is learning. Aurora, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You can get some real game from Kevin. You know what I'm saying? Just like you can get some real game from Cynthia G too.
And on that point, if you, a broken clock is right twice a day kind of thing, You can talk to those individuals who have never been married or never been in a long-term relationship or had so many failed relationships and still single, and they're a good source of information on what not to do. So talking to those people can be good, and it could be a source of information to know what not to do. If you don't want to be in a long-term relationship, talk to some single people who are, out dating and love the dating life and don't want to be in long-term relationships. Let's go.
But you just have to take it with a grain of salt and use, you still need to, you can get some tidbits, some nuggets. And this show is really good because he was talking about, on this show, Kevin Samuels was talking about how dating is bullshit now. People don't need 3 and 5 years of dating to decide whether they want to get married. And I think that benefits women because a lot of women waste a lot of time with men, and then the men just oh, I don't want to be with you, and y'all been together since y'all 20s and y'all 35, now either you got a bunch of kids by this dude, but you're not married, or you got no kids by this dude, and your biological clock is ticking, right? And you're looking silly as hell because you like, I gave this dude 5-10 years of my life, and he never committed to me, right? Hey, send police, you right. Broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Yeah, I just said that too. So yeah, it is true. I think both people can tell whether somebody's marriage material within the first month of dating. And I think a man knows whether he wants to one day wife that woman. Probably like us. I think when we first see a woman that we're attracted to, we can think that, yeah, we're gonna wife her up. But once we get to know her and she, all the boxes checked, domesticated, sexuality, her energy level, her education, if she got everything that you're looking for, yeah, it could be 3 months. I've heard of people getting married within 6 months of knowing each other, a year of knowing each other. But it doesn't matter. I mean, you can know somebody or date somebody for 10 years, get married, and it flops. Or you can meet somebody after 6 months and be together for the rest of your life. So it's vice versa. So I definitely believe that. And some people, if you let us, we'll date you. If you let us date you for 5 or 6 years, we can be engaged for like 10 years and still not marry you. I think that's more in the West. Could be something to do with the court systems, the way the courts are set up. Marriage is really scary for a lot of people. But let's continue.
And on that one, Kevin was hitting. These other cultures don't be, people in these other cultures don't be in no 5, 6, 7, 8 year dating ship. Do they?
That's facts. A lot of cultures coming from my perspective, other than in America, yeah, a lot of these cultures, they're like, we need to work towards something. Like, you're not going to just be dating me and getting the milk for free for 5 years and not put a ring on me or go ahead and get married. Now, I know a lot of couples in other countries who are not married on paper, but they function as a married couple. They have kids, they have a house together, they have finances together, but they're not married. But in a sense, they are. They just don't have paperwork. They didn't sign anything, but they are married. If you think about it. And, a lot of cultures are just not, after 3 months or 6 months or a year, okay, it's like, okay, we getting married or what are we doing here? Because it's about preservation. It's about lineage. So you're bringing two cultures together. You're bringing two families together. You're bringing assets together. You as a man have to make a decision, not to waste somebody's time. I think, you either you're going to date this person with the purpose of dating and, or with the purpose of getting married. So at some point, if you're married or you're dating somebody from another culture, they probably are not going to be happy dating you for a whole lot of time. And at least, pop out a baby or something. Have something to show for this time. Let's go.
About a year max, then they get married. At least if you take 6 months to a year, you get married, doesn't work out, you can get the relationship annulled, right? And move on about your business. No harm, no foul. Nobody's getting no alimony, nothing.
That was good. I never thought about that.
6, 7, 18 years, okay, she goes and, sucks somebody else's meat. Now, you want to leave her, she talking about it's a common law marriage because we've been living together for 10 years or whatever. I love the point Kevin made. But then there's this other guy. His name is Alpharonomy or something like that. I don't want to mess up the brother's name. Let me get his channel right. He's a little more aggressive than Kevin Samuels, but today, okay, Book of Alpharonomy, Book of Alpharonomy, right? And then I brought up Destiny's Child in this too, because, you know, they got this song called Cater to You. Let me cater to you, because, baby, this is your day. And there's a line in that song that I think resonates with so many, like, it's pretty much the key to every relationship. I know whatever I'm not fulfilling, another woman is willing, right? I'm going to fulfill you mind, body, and spirit. And that goes to the other side too, right? With men, whatever I'm not fulfilling, another woman is willing. I don't know if Cynthia G has excellent intellect. She just seems kind of angry, and she keeps on trying stuff and failing at it. So if you subscribe and think that she has excellent intellect, if you're single, then you know why. Because you're probably smarter than her, but you're letting her lead you or impact your mindset, and you probably do better without her. But hey, to each his own, right?
That's a good reference, the Destiny Child song, Cater to You. And he did put that in the title of the video. So, yeah, if you have a woman who's catering to you and she's giving you everything you need and want, most likely you're probably going to wife her. That's marriage material. If you have a woman that's not doing A, B, and C, and you always have an issue or a problem with getting her to do so, it could be because maybe that's not her. It's just not in her, and you can't change her. Like, you can't control her. There's no way you can make her something that she's not. But if she was catering to you and she stops, that's something that either you've done. I think, like, maybe you start arguing with her a lot, or you guys always fighting. You're kind of weak. You're getting insecure and stuff. So, yeah, that's a good song. And I like, if I met someone for the first time, that song is, and she's doing all that good stuff, all that catering. That song always comes to mind. Let's go.
So, the Cater to You song, excellent. And that's what we're hitting on today. We're hitting on this idea of, like, you got men out here, especially in the age of social media, you got men out here basically begging their partners to give them attention, right? They're basically like, baby, what's wrong? Baby, what's wrong? You okay? Oh, I'm fine. They think something wrong with that girl because she's not talking to them.
Okay, so begging your girl for attention, begging her for more time, begging her to do anything, that's already a bad sign. If she's in touch with you, if you have a connection, you two have a connection, you guys are on the same page, she would know automatically what to do, what's good, what is going to make you happy. She's always trying to think of things to make you happy. You're taking care of her, especially if you're taking care of her, you're providing. You're in this relationship, like both of you are in the same relationship. You have a connection. So once you are in a position to where you find yourself begging for time and attention, that's a bad sign. You got to pay attention to that sign. It's the red flag, straight up. So that is never good in a relationship. Like, neither one, the man or the woman, shouldn't have to beg the other one to do anything. You can have a conversation, you talk about it, and then if one of the people don't keep their word, then you might have to think about a decision either to continue the relationship or move on. So that's a good point right there. Let's go.
I think something wrong with that girl because they walk in the house and she don't even tell them hello or ask them how their day was, right? They think something's wrong with that girl because they come in from a hard day at work. She's walking through the house like she ain't got no tongue, and they like, damn, something must be wrong with her. And then so they, do like any man who loves his woman would do. Baby, what's wrong? What's wrong? Nothing. into the weeks turn into days, and everything melts together. And next thing you know, you're in a communication a non-communic. What would you say? Not communicating. A communicationless relationship, and you don't know why things went the way they did. You don't want to leave because you're comfortable or you love her. You have a feeling like, I know she loves me because just 6 months ago everything was all good, and you're not realizing that this person has undergone a mental shift, and you really don't know the reason. She's not going to tell you the reason.
Okay, it's like it was all good about a week ago. So yeah, at times, people just change. People grow up, people go through different things from the time you met them. I mean, it depends on where they were in their life when you met them. So sometimes people change, but one thing in my experience is women do tell you. They tell you when you messing up. They'll tell you what's wrong. They'll tell you something's wrong. And if you don't listen, or if you don't hear her, or if you think it's just, it's just her being emotional or whatever, then it's going to come to a head one day. And they're going to be like, I tried to tell you, you never listened to me. And so you, in a relationship, there has to be communication, and communication also involves listening, and not just listening to respond. It's listening, it's hearing, and it's understanding, it's comprehending what that person is saying. So they'll keep telling you. They might tell you directly, they might tell you indirectly, but they don't just stop talking without a reason. So it's up to you to dig deep into yourself and try to remember what this woman was telling you. Otherwise, it's going to end up non-communication, or communicationless, or that type of thing. I can't even think of the word he's trying to think about. But yeah, no communication means that they stop telling you what's wrong because you're not listening. You didn't listen. So they're just like, forget it. He's not going to get it. He's not listening. He never listened to what I tried to tell him. And so they're just going to get tired of it, and they're going to bubble up. It's going to bubble up until they get into the space where, I'm not going to talk to him. It doesn't do any good. Let's go.
But what she's going to do is she's not going to tell you, yo, I'm no longer interested in you. Maybe you provide something for her. Maybe you give her good dick, or you give her money, take her shopping. And communication breakdown. Shall I be? You're much smarter than I am, for sure.
Communication breakdown.
Communication, right? And people really in our day and age, because everything is so based, so hinged upon financial stability, right? People fear financial insecurity. So people will stay in relationships that they no longer want to be in simply based on finance. Or people might stay in relationships that they don't want to be in simply because they don't want to go out into the dating market, because they don't know if they'll be able to find someone equal or better than the person they're with, right? And so they'll stay with this person while basically living a double life outside of their relationship.
Oh, yeah, all facts there. I mean, especially if you live in a high-cost area, like New York, D.C., Los Angeles, San Francisco, Toronto, wherever, Tokyo, London, all those high cost areas. I mean, you're going to definitely be hurting if you've been living one way because you're splitting half the expenses. It could keep you in a relationship. I mean, hell, there's marriages where people stay in these marriages because of finances. And and the thing about the dating market, I mean, once you found somebody that you had a connection with and you have problems, it's like, do you really want to, you're going to really think about it. All has to be over. There's no fixing. You just have to be at that point where you just I'm finished, I'm done, to want to actually jump back in the dating market because it is crazy. It's crazy in the dating pool. All right, let's go.
Your girl got a whole relationship with Instagram, and you just a nigga in the background thinking it's innocent because she just on her phone.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the internet, social media can definitely be a relationship killer. Been there, done that. Women, or men could really be in another relationship, a whole other relationship on the apps itself, on, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, because it's like, you're in a new world, you're in a different world. You're not in a real world with your partner, but you have a lot of distractions. You got a lot of people who might seem to enjoy seeing your stuff or comment on your stuff, and that could just take your attention away from your partner, spending too much time on the internet or on Instagram, Facebook. And if you have a problem with it in the beginning, you need to address that. And if that person doesn't want to curve their internet screen time for you, even though it bothers you, then they don't care that much about you, or they care more about being on Instagram and Facebook than your feelings. And that is another red flag. That is a communication breakdown in itself. Now, if you speak to her and she says, okay, I'm not going to go on the apps that much. I'll just go check it out, post a little bit, communicate with some friends, and that's it. Then, it's good. But if they give you any back talk about it, you might have to think about something. Unless they're making money. If they're making money on Instagram, being an influencer or whatever, hey, that's a win-win for both persons, because you're in a relationship. She's making money off of that. That could be good for you too. Let's go.
Not realizing, this woman has built a emotional attachment to the approval of other, not just men, but people on the internet, right? I mean, dog, your girl don't text you all day, but she managed to post 10 fucking posts on Facebook with her ass out or with the boobs up, but she ain't even said, baby, how's your day at work? How you doing? You all right? You need anything? And then you go home and ain't nobody talking to nobody. She ain't giving you no pussy. You know what I'm saying? Or she give it to you begrudgingly, and you sitting up like a dummy like, yo, what did I do wrong? Because that's what happens when someone really loves somebody. If that person is seemingly unhappy, the first person they're going to blame is themselves.
Attention and validation, that is a psychological thing that you can't, it's hard for you to compete with that. I mean, you got thousands of people giving you validation and your partner's here. So it's like, whether that he or she gives you validation or not, you can get it from, if you can get it from social media, then that person's validation really don't mean a thing after a while, I guess. It just depends on how much you respect and love that person. Your validation should always come from your partner, not from online. And if it's coming from online, and you got a problem with it, then you might want to find a partner who isn't all about being online. They're not all about posting all the time. They're not about the likes and all that stuff. Find your partner who, they might not even have a profile pic on their account, so they don't take it that serious because they know it's virtual. So if you got a partner that's, that they value their validation from online more than yours, that's a problem. Let's go.
The person they're going to look at is themselves. Never realizing it's going to be the last thing they're going to look relationship?
Yeah. Yeah. First thing, as men, we internalize it first. Like if something's wrong in a relationship, we're gonna think, okay, what did I do? Like what the hell did I do to make this happen? And then if we don't, once we start blaming ourselves, then we're gonna say, okay, let me look at her behavior. What happened with her? What was the change that happened with her? I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's 50-50 because, like I said, women kind of feed off of us. They kind of follow our lead. So if we're not doing anything, say we haven't been giving them attention, say we've been busy, playing Xbox or whatever, playing PS5 or whatever, or doing other things, and we haven't been giving them attention. Then if they're going to the internet for attention, then that's kind of our fault because we kind of dropped the ball on paying attention to our loved one. Let's go.
Drake has a beautiful song where he's like, who has got you all gassed up, changing your opinion on me. I forgot what that song is, but it's like, I tried with you. I forgot the name of it. But he talks about that in the song. He's like, yo, you tripping. You changed. I don't know who's got you all gassed up and how what they're telling you is changing your opinion of me. But in reality, I don't want to know. And in the song, he's like, I tried with you. There's more to life than getting high, than sleeping in and getting high with you, right? I had to let go of us to show myself what I could do. Because
yeah, I'm not the biggest Drake fan, but I did like him in the beginning. He's okay. I don't dislike Drake. I think he's talented. He's a good singer, rapper. He writes good songs. But one thing about Drake is he has enough fame, notoriety, and money where he doesn't really have to put up a front like he's hard all the time. So he can afford to make songs where he sounds vulnerable and very emotional as a man. So if you kind of look at those songs, he does speak about situations that happen in relationships all the time. And the thing is where he said, I have to leave you to get back to me. Sometimes, you might have to leave a relationship to fix yourself as well as the person who you left. They might need a kick in the ass, which could be, you leaving or, if they give a damn. But yeah, I think that could, yeah. I mean, if you listen to more Drake songs, you might get a lot more insight into relationships. Now that I think about it, there are quite a few songs to where like he might have resonated a few times with what was going on in my life. I got to be honest. Let's go.
Man, listen, dude, don't ever sleep on Drake. Feel no ways. Exactly, Anthony. Dude, listen, that's the song right there. Feel no ways. Don't ever sleep. If you sleep on Drake, you don't know shit about relationships. You don't know shit. Drake will give you the innuendos into your fucking relationships that you may not come to yourself. Because let me tell you why Drake is a good source of relationship advice. He's rich enough to not give a fuck. You ain't got no money, so you doing everything you can to keep holding on to your chick. Drake is like, look, I got millions of bad bitches around me. I could walk away, and it might hurt me, but I know in my phone I got 5 to 50 badder chicks ready to do everything that I wanted this girl to do, right? Right? And she's not doing it. See, a lot of men, right, we have a lot of options. I mean, I'm not the most attractive guy in the world. I probably get a marriage proposal every day, at least one, you know what I'm saying, in my inbox. But men have options. But sometimes we fall so in love because men, we fall in love every day, right?
Yeah. both, I would say both people have options. Men and women have options. But obviously, this video is talking as a man, from a man's point of view, from man to woman. So looking at the point of view from a man, yes, men have options, women have options. I mean, at the end of the day, there's always going to be somebody more attractive, less attractive, taller, shorter, bigger, skinnier, richer, poorer, nicer, meaner. I mean, you can always go for the most attractive person, the person with most money, but who do you have a connection with? Sometimes it's not all about looks. Well, 100% it's not all about looks. It's not about what you have or what you can do for somebody. It's the connection, the mental connection, the emotional attachment, the emotional connection you have with somebody. So speaking of options, everybody has options, but that's why I can't say, like, I wouldn't advise somebody to just walk away or leave that person based on the events that's happening, because both people have options. But that's always got to be a decision that you come up with on your own. Let's go.
And when you learn how to fall in love every day with the same woman, it's a beautiful thing, but it also can be a great detriment to you, to your mental health and your happiness.
Yes, men have emotions. I know a lot of women don't know that, but yeah, men have emotions. If we're with somebody we love, I mean, we can wake up and fall in love with them every day. If they're laying next to us and we just see how, pretty and attractive they are, we can fall in love that way. We can fall in love, based on what they do for us. It could be a combination of everything, but yeah, I think men, it might take us a little longer to fall in love, but once we're there, it's hard. It's hard for us to fall out of love. I think it takes men a lot longer to fall out of love than it does women. That's just my take. Let's go.
Psychological health. Because if you're still in love with her and she's falling out of love with you, or she's allowed, like, the internet, social media, likes on Instagram and Facebook, right, to become the source of her validation more so than you, right? She's like, I don't need you for validation anymore. I could go get validation on the internet. I could get, women do fall in love quick. Of course they do. And they fall out of love quick as well. Your woman could fall out of love with you in one day and fall totally in love with Instagram and the likes on Instagram. Let her get over 5,000 likes on her pic. You're going to see her changing up real fast.
That's the part all right, so I didn't really agree with a woman, women falling out of love as quicker than they fall in love quick and fall out of love quick. I kind of didn't agree with that, but then when he said they can fall in love with Instagram and those likes, the next day, I kind of believe that, because if you look at the studies about social media and what it does to your endorphins and serotonin and your mental state, yeah, you could, that's kind of like the boyfriend that you already lined up when you're kind of thinking about leaving the guy you're with. First thing you're going to do is you're going to increase your Instagram and Facebook content. You're going to be posting more. You're going to be on that joint a lot more. I think that's real. That's an honest assessment. Let's go.
She's not a good woman who's solid and understands priorities and know which side her bread is buttered on. This is reality, right? Right? So the whole thing is like, what men do is, baby, what's wrong with you? Right? Baby, what's wrong with you? They think it's something we did. Maybe the nigga been out cheating or something. Maybe you been out boning other chicks. But you don't know, maybe she found out. So the first thing you're going to do is like, what's wrong? Talk to me. Did you find out I think was doing something? Let me know. What's the deal? We always internalize as men. That's a natural part of us. Because in our body, we're geared to be providers. And, from the time You get in a relationship, especially if you got kids, daddy is supposed to make everything better. You're a provider, you're a protector. You even try to protect people from their own, like, bad choices that may have a negative outcome, right? I mean, I've been there. You know, thank God for my wife, but I've been there where I had situations where I'm like, not with my wife, but it's like, yo, what's going on with you? You good? Oh, nothing. Like, yo, boo, you changing up. You changed up. What's the deal? What I do? I ain't changed nothing about my behavior, but your behavior has changed. Then, if she's really good, if she's really tricky, she'll start to make it like where you inquiring as to what's wrong or what's elicited this change in her behavior, she'll turn that into like, you're attacking me. You want me to communicate with you within this relationship that we're both involved in, that we both agreed to. You provide for me. You pay the bills. We're a team. You want me to communicate with you? I don't have to communicate with you if I don't want to. And if you...
Yeah. So I'm lucky to be in a relationship with my partner where I think we see each other's habits and changes, and we can communicate with each other. It's like, hey, I noticed this and that, you know, oh yeah, this because of this, but don't worry, I got it. I'm taking care of it. Whatever's bothering you, you can talk about. So being in a relationship like that is, that shows maturity, and it shows that it's a healthy relationship. But what he's talking about, when you're asking someone a simple question, say like, hey, let's go do this on Saturday night. And they're like, nah, I don't want to, or I don't feel like it, or I got something to do. And you're like, why? And they're like, why are you attacking me? Why you asking me all that? That's nothing more than the old gaslighting. That's gaslighting. Then you're going to get caught insecure. Then you're going to get caught controlling. It's like that person is up to something. It may not be leaving you as of yet. They could have one foot out the door and one foot in the door. I mean, they could be thinking about it. They could be trying to, live a double life, whatever, but the whole thing is, when you hear that, like, y'all got to have a conversation. Y'all got to have a conversation right now. Not now, but right now. All right, let's go.
Don't force me to communicate. You're attacking me. You're harassing me, right? You understand what I'm saying? There are women like that. But like I tell everybody, the first thing, women say is, oh, it's supposed to be a 50-50. We're supposed to be like a team. And I don't believe that. I don't believe in no 50-50 relationship with no woman. Because soon as shit goes down, or as soon as the woman gets an attitude, or she gets upset, or, she's feeling herself extra, she's quick to be like, I don't want to be a team player. Who stops communicating first? Men or women? Everybody knows it's women. And if they do communicate, they're going to communicate out of anger, right? When a man is done with you, a man is still in his mind thinking like, yo, maybe I could explain this to this chick to where she'll understand what I'm saying, and then she'll be able to change her behavior. But when a woman is done, she doesn't want to talk to you. She retreats back into her own private little headspace.
True. Women, when they're done, they're done. You ain't hearing nothing else. And most of the time they're done 3 or 4 months earlier than when they say it is. When they say it's done. When they say, I can't do this, or I'm so done, listen to what they saying and know that shit is done. Like, at that point, there ain't no explaining. They already justified leaving you in their mind. They might already have somebody lined up. They don't have somebody lined up. They got the internet. They got Facebook. They got Instagram. They gonna find somebody. Women can find somebody like that. That's why I was saying options. Everybody got options. Even men, we could probably find somebody like, quick too. But when you if you're in a bad relationship, like how long are you going to stay in that bad relationship? You know, she's probably told you that she's unhappy a few times and you kind of gloss over it. You kind of do something for her, you buy her something, and you take her out. Or, you know, you give her some good. And, you know, that might soothe it for a minute. But then she's back at her point because, you know, women are overanalyzers. Well, everybody's an overanalyzer to a certain point. But I think women, just because of their biological makeup, they tend to analyze stuff a lot more than us because we're more direct and we're loyal to a fault. So, like, when we're in something, we made our mind up that we're in something. That's it. We're in it until it burns down. But, you know, women, they have so many emotions. They go from here to there. And we can't be like that. You know, we can't be in that space to where, like, our emotions is going crazy because, like, that don't feel manly. It doesn't feel like a man. So, yeah, women can change up. And sometimes you got to let people be who they are and let them do what they want to do. You can't hold them back. If you try to pull them back, you try to change their mind about something, it's not going to work. So if you know, if they're done, then you just have to accept it and say, okay, that's all you can do. Because the more you try to fight, the more you try to explain your point and persuade them, the more you're going to piss them off and the more you're going to burn that down to the ground. All right, let's go.
And that's why you walk in your house and you go in and your girl, she's like not even talking to you. You walking out, she curled up on the couch, feet up, knees up on the damn couch, all in her phone. You thinking, oh yeah. Oh, maybe she's just interested in something over there. No, bro. She's getting validation from that phone. She don't need you no more. Now, if you tell her, look, I'm not going to pay the rent this month, she'll look up. Oh, shit. This nigga mad. He not going to pay the rent. Let me address him for 5 minutes. But if she's a financially independent woman, she still won't move from that spot. All right, don't pay it. Hustle Smart, she in with certain apps on her phone. This it. Oh, yeah, of course. So, like, on the dude, the Alpharonomy guy, he basically showed this video where this chick is on vacation with her fiance. And she all up in the phone and shit. She all up in the phone. So the fiance, he ain't thinking nothing of it. But then, you know, obviously, because you know, if you a man, you know how we do. At first, we not going to say shit. We going to sit and see if she realizes that she just spent 15 straight minutes sitting at the dinner table and ain't said a word to you because she all up in her phone. That's what we going to do. We going to wait to see if she noticed that she's tripping, right? But then after we sit there and we start getting pissed off, we going to say something. So the dude, what he did was, I think he just scooted near her, and he's looking at her phone. And some dude's on there she's telling some dude, I'm really missing your lips right now. Babe, who is this? Oh, it's this dude, he's gay, right? He said, okay, well, text him and tell him that your fiance would really like to meet him. This girl started crying. It's just one text. It's nothing serious. Well, then why can't you say my fiance would really like to meet you right now? I mean, even if you really didn't give a fuck about this dude, you would be like, it ain't no thing. My fiance. You feel me? We all had that girl. She be flirting with us and shit on the internet, and then all of a sudden, she like, yeah, my boyfriend, or her boyfriend get in her fucking phone. Who the fuck is this? And then she turn on your ass in an instant. If she's serious about him, she gonna treat your ass like an ugly stepchild, like she never even knew your ass. Because she values her relationship with him more than you, and it should be that way. That's the way it should be. But when a chick is crying, don't want to send a message, bro, your girl that's her other main nigga right there. Or either he her main sugar daddy, and if he is, she should be warming up, tell you like, babe, this dude just be giving me money or kicking me down bread. You feel me? But
Yeah, I agree. If you ask, if you got questions about who your girl is communicating with, and she gives you back talk, and it becomes an argument. Yeah, that's a red flag. That's you might if she explains it to you, fine, and if you don't take it, then it could be, maybe you could be insecure about it. Maybe you could get a bad feeling if you have a bad intuition about it. That's one thing. But if she's crying and making it such a big deal, then you gotta have a talk. You gotta have a talk about it. Let's go.
That's where the deception, comes in. You know what I'm saying? And it's so funny with women, like, when they try to do shit, it's very hard for them to hide what they're doing if they're with the right man. Because if you with a real alpha, he's going to want your attention on him mostly. See, if you're with a beta, he can exist in a situation where he's not getting the attention that he as a man rightfully deserves, right? He can exist in that. Maybe he's just like, okay, well, she doesn't, women's rights, feminism, whatever.
Yeah, that could be like, if you accept any form of disrespect in your relationship, then you're probably scared to lose that woman. So you don't want to make waves. You could be a so-called beta male, where like you can exist without, demanding the focus be on you. But either way, it's not a good sign. I mean, if you're giving her so much attention, like, it should be 50-50 in that department. And I remember when Brandon said that he doesn't believe in going half, 50-50 in a relationship. I believe he's talking about when you're in a relationship and you're living together, somebody has to be the leader, and the man has to be the leader of that relationship. So, yeah, I get that. Like, it's not going to be a 50-50. It's not going to be a democracy. I'm the leader, and we're following my lead, because, I mean, you can't have two leaders. It just, like, 50-50 with a man and woman. After a while, if she's pulling the same weight as you, then she's not going to feel like the woman. She's going to feel like she's your peer. Like, she can do as good or as bad as you can. So that won't work. All right, let's go.
If you got an alpha type dude like me, when I walk in the room, I expect acknowledgement. You know what I'm saying? I grew up, my daddy didn't grow up providing for my mama. My mama was working on her own. So when I grow up and go against the way I was actually raised, to give you a life that's better than the one that you accustomed to when you grew up, I walk in, I expect some acknowledgement. Daddy expect a big piece of chicken, like Chris Rock used to say. These too many dudes are walking in their own house every day, and you got somebody laid up who's supposed to be your woman, and you walk in and she act like you ain't shit. You walk in and she's serving you dinner on a fucking paper plate with a plastic fork like you had a damn picnic in your own fucking house. And you're accepting that. And you don't want to leave because, well, where am I going to find a woman better than Creisha? A crack house? At least if you buy her some dope, she'll do anything you want. Where am I going to find a woman better than LaFonda? Settling for less. Settling for less.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I think the main part of this segment of this video, don't accept, less. Don't accept any disrespect in your relationship. I mean, because a relationship begins with respect. Love begins with respect. When somebody starts disrespecting you to your face, that's not only a no-go, but it's the love leaving the relationship. So that's all I want to comment on this video. Check out the full-length video on Pan-African Strikes Back. It's called, again, Kevin Samuel's book of Alpharonomy and Destiny Child. or you can catch it on his other channel, Ebony Outlier. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.